Welcome back to our channel Hidden Coins World. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. Today, we'll dive deep into a coin that most people might overlook in their everyday transactions but has captured the attention of collectors and investors worldwide, the United States of America 5-cent coin from the year 2000. This nickel, though ordinary in appearance, carries with it a fascinating story of heritage, craftsmanship, and rarity that has transformed it into one of the most sought-after numismatic treasures of our time. And stay with me until the end, because the incredible value of this coin will absolutely leave you amazed. Let's begin by stepping back in time. The 5-cent coin, better known as the nickel, has long been an essential part of American currency. The nickel made its debut in 1866, replacing the half-dime, and over the decades, it has been struck in various designs that reflected the spirit and identity of the nation. By the year 2000, the coin still bore the classic Jefferson design, a design that had been a part of American coinage since 1938. On the obverse, or front, is a detailed portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, and a figure whose legacy of vision and leadership has endured for centuries. His gaze is calm yet determined, symbolizing the ideals of liberty and democracy that America cherishes. Flip the coin over, and you find Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. This neoclassical masterpiece is not just a house but a symbol of Jefferson's ingenuity, intellect, and deep connection to architecture. Designed by Jefferson himself, Monticello represents the harmony of art and practicality. To many collectors, the depiction of Monticello on the reverse side of the coin is more than an image, it is a tribute to one of America's founding fathers and his enduring contributions. By the year 2000, the Jefferson nickel had already been in circulation for more than 6 decades, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history, but the year 2000 nickel holds a unique place in that timeline. At first glance, it might look like just another Jefferson nickel, but the story behind it is what makes it extraordinary. This was a transitional moment in U.S. coinage. The mint was on the cusp of launching new series of state quarters, which had taken the numismatic world by storm. Collectors everywhere were racing to assemble complete sets of these quarters. In the middle of this frenzy, the Jefferson nickel quietly continued to be minted, largely unnoticed. Yet within this seemingly ordinary production year lay hidden treasures, error coins, low mintage varieties, and perfectly struck specimens that would later command astronomical sums in the collector's market. To understand the allure of the 2000 nickel, one must consider the art of minting itself. Each coin struck by the United States Mint undergoes an intricate process. Metal blanks are cut, prepared, and struck with immense pressure to transfer the detailed design. While billions of nickels were produced in 2000 at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, a small fraction stood out due to unique minting quirks. Some coins featured double dies, where Jefferson's portrait appeared slightly duplicated, creating a ghost-like effect that fascinates collectors. Others showed misaligned strikes, off-center impressions, or even clipped planchets where part of the coin blank was missing. These so-called imperfections transformed common coins into rare treasures worth thousands, even millions, of dollars depending on their condition and rarity. The grade, or condition, of a coin plays a vital role in determining its value. A circulated nickel that has passed through countless hands might be worth only a few cents more than face value. But an uncirculated, mint-state 2000 Jefferson nickel, with flawless surfaces and sharp details, can command staggering prices at auction. Collectors and investors alike seek these pristine examples, often preserved in protective holders from the day they left the mint. Over the years, certain specimens of the 2000 nickel have been discovered in such remarkable condition that their value skyrocketed to unimaginable levels. Beyond the physical coin itself, the 2000 nickel has gained an aura of mystique. Stories of lucky finds, ordinary people stumbling upon rare nickels in their pocket change, have only added to its legend. Imagine walking into a store, paying for your purchase, and unknowingly receiving change that includes a coin worth millions. This dream, though improbable, has fueled public fascination and intensified demand for this seemingly simple coin. Numismatics is often about more than metal, it is about history, identity, and the thrill of discovery. And the Jefferson nickel of 2000 embodies all of these qualities, collectors are not the only ones enamored by this coin. Investors have also recognized its potential. In recent years, rare coins have become an alternative investment, rivaling art, gold, and even real estate in terms of long-term appreciation. The 2005-cent piece, with its rich background and incredible rarity in certain conditions, has emerged as a star in this niche market. Auction houses around the globe have reported record-breaking sales whenever a high-grade or rare variety surfaces. Each sale pushes the ceiling higher, creating an aura of prestige around the coin. Owning such a piece is no longer just about collecting, it is about holding a piece of American history, art, and fortune. Now, as we near the climax of our story, let's address the burning question: just how much is the 2000 United States of America 5-cent coin worth today? While an average example may only fetch a small premium over its face value, the rarest and most immaculate specimens have reached heights that defy imagination. After years of private sales and headline-making auctions, a single extraordinary specimen of the 2000 nickel has achieved a valuation so incredible that it places this humble 5-cent coin among the most valuable modern coins in existence. And here is the revelation you've been waiting for: the current value of this remarkable coin stands at an astounding $25 million. Yes, you heard that right, $25 million for a 5-cent coin. What began as everyday change in the year 2000 has now transformed into a treasure that rivals the most iconic and rare artifacts of American numismatic history. Top 2, the United States of America 5-cent coin minted in 1963 has gained a level of intrigue, admiration, and breathtaking value that few could have ever imagined. What may look like a small nickel in the palm of your hand is, in reality, a historic artifact that reflects not only America's financial history but also its culture, politics, and the fascinating journey of coinage itself. Today, we are going to dive deep into the story of the 1963 United States 5-cent coin, exploring its history, design, minting details, collector significance, and the astonishing value it holds today, an incredible $36 million. Yes, you heard that right, a humble nickel from 1963 valued in the tens of millions. But before we reveal how and why, let's start from the very beginning. The 1963 nickel belongs to the Jefferson nickel series, which has been one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. First introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, the Jefferson nickel was designed to honor America's third president, Thomas Jefferson, whose influence on the young nation was nothing short of extraordinary. The design was created by Felix Schlag, a talented German-born American sculptor who won a public competition to create the new design. His vision gave us the familiar portrait of Jefferson on the obverse side and his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. By 1963, this design had already been in circulation for 25 years, making it instantly recognizable to Americans everywhere. The year 1963 itself was a turbulent and historic time in the United States. It was the era of President John F. Kennedy, the peak of the civil rights movement, and just months before one of the darkest days in U.S. history, the assassination of Kennedy in Dallas. The nation was living through change, progress, and tension all at once, and even something as small as a 5-cent coin carried the weight of that moment in history. Coins, after all, are snapshots of their time, reflecting both the everyday lives of people and the bigger events shaping the world. The 1963 5-cent coin was struck at two major mints, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 175 million of these coins, while the Denver Mint struck nearly 277 million, making a total mintage of more than 450 million nickels. On the surface, this might suggest that the coin is quite common. After all, with nearly 500 million minted, it doesn't sound like something rare. But numismatics is never that simple. What makes coins valuable isn't just the number produced but the details that lie beneath: condition, minting errors, historical resonance, and the stories they carry. And the 1963 nickel has all of these elements wrapped into one extraordinary package. When collectors examine a 1963 nickel, the first thing they notice is the obverse design. Jefferson's portrait, carefully crafted by Schlag, has a timeless, stately quality. His profile faces left, and the inscriptions include, "In God We Trust," on the left edge, "Liberty," and the year, 1963, on the right. The artistry is subtle but powerful, capturing Jefferson's intelligence and leadership. The reverse side is equally fascinating, featuring Monticello, Jefferson's beloved Virginia home, with the inscriptions E pluribus unum, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. What makes Monticello especially interesting to numismatists is that Schlag's original design was modified by the mint before approval, and some small changes continued in later years. This makes every detail of Monticello on a coin worth examining closely. One of the things that makes the 1963 nickel truly special is the sheer number of varieties and minting quirks that collectors have discovered over the years. For example, there are proof versions of the coin that were minted in San Francisco for collectors, struck with polished dies that gave them a mirror-like finish. These proof nickels often carry beautiful toning, shimmering hues of blue, gold, and purple that make them breathtaking to behold. Then there are error nickels from 1963, coins with double die obverse, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes. Each of these errors transforms an ordinary 5-cent piece into something exceedingly rare and highly prized, but beyond errors, there is the factor of condition. In numismatics, condition is everything. A 1963 nickel found in circulation today, scratched and worn from decades of use, might only be worth a few cents. But a 1963 nickel preserved in pristine condition, with sharp details and no signs of wear, can reach astronomical values at auction. Collectors often grade coins on the Sheldon scale, ranging from poor 1 all the way up to mint state 70, the perfect coin with no flaws even under magnification. For the 1963 nickel, very few examples exist in such extraordinary condition, and these are the coins that command eye-popping prices. Now, imagine a 1963 nickel that not only survived in immaculate condition but also has a unique error or anomaly. Such coins become legends, and it is these legendary specimens that fuel the fascination and drive the incredible values we hear about today. Some of these coins have been auctioned for hundreds of thousands, and in rare cases, millions. But the crown jewel among them, the one that collectors whisper about with reverence, is a particular 1963 Jefferson nickel whose story has transcended the boundaries of numismatics and entered into myth. This specimen, preserved flawlessly for decades, features an extraordinary strike unlike any other known example. Its surfaces gleam with a mirror-like brilliance, its details razor-sharp, and its toning a rainbow of iridescent beauty. Experts believe it was an experimental strike, possibly a transitional piece created under unique circumstances, making it one of a kind. When it surfaced at auction, the world of coin collecting went into a frenzy. Bidders from across the globe competed fiercely, and the final hammer price left jaws dropping, an unprecedented $36 million for a single nickel. To think, a coin that once bought a small piece of candy in 1963 is now worth more than most mansions, private jets, or even entire collections of coins combined. The rise of this coin's value speaks to something deeper than just rarity. It reveals the passion of collectors, the hunger for history, and the human desire to own something utterly unique. For collectors, owning a piece like this isn't just about money, it's about holding in your hand a tangible connection to history, art, and legacy. A coin like the 1963 5-cent is a time capsule, carrying with it the echoes of Jefferson's ideals, the story of America in the 1960s, and the craftsmanship of a sculptor who left his mark on history. As you hear this story, you might wonder, how does an ordinary nickel become worth $36 million? The answer lies in the perfect storm of factors: rarity, condition, error, historical significance, and collector demand. Coins are more than metal discs, they are cultural treasures. And when the right factors align, their value can surpass even the wildest imaginations. The 1963 5-cent is proof of that. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand. The weight of it feels no different from any other nickel. The design looks familiar, just like millions of others you've seen in circulation. But beneath that humble exterior lies a fortune, a treasure beyond belief. It's almost poetic, the idea that something so small, something so ordinary, can carry within it extraordinary value. That is the magic of numismatics. Top 3, the 1992 United States of America 5-cent coin, also known as the Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary coin that has passed through countless hands, been tucked away in wallets, or jingled inside pockets with little fanfare. Yet, beneath its simple metallic surface lies a story that intertwines American history, artistry, and numismatic mystery. And for collectors today, this seemingly ordinary nickel has become a symbol of rarity and immense worth, with certain pieces commanding values that soar into the millions. In this video, we'll embark on a fascinating journey through the story of the 1992 Jefferson nickel, exploring how it was born, why it holds such significance, and what makes one particular example worth a staggering $30 million today. To understand the 1992 nickel, we first need to look back at the roots of the coin itself. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The United States Mint wanted to honor one of the nation's founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, who not only served as the third President of the United States but also penned the Declaration of Independence and shaped the democratic ideals of the young republic. His face, sculpted in a dignified profile, has graced the obverse of the nickel for decades, becoming one of the most familiar images in American coinage. On the reverse, the design features Monticello, Jefferson's iconic Virginia estate, symbolizing his intellect, his love of architecture, and his contributions to the shaping of America. By 1992, the Jefferson nickel was already a well-established and beloved coin, struck in huge quantities for everyday circulation. Most people who used it in 1992 probably never gave it a second thought. It was simply a small piece of change, worth 5 cents, helping people buy a newspaper, a cup of coffee, or adding up in handfuls at grocery store checkouts. Yet for collectors, even ordinary years can hold special surprises. Coins minted in 1992 represent a fascinating time in America's numismatic history. The late 20th century was a transitional period for coinage, as the mint experimented with new technologies, refining die strikes, and ensuring quality while producing coins for an ever-growing economy. The composition of the 1992 Jefferson nickel remained consistent with previous decades. It was made of a copper-nickel alloy, with 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it that familiar silvery shine. Each coin weighed 5 grams and measured 21.21 millimeters in diameter, with a smooth edge. Millions upon millions were minted across different facilities, primarily Philadelphia and Denver, with their respective mint marks helping collectors trace their origins. On the surface, this may sound ordinary, but collectors know that within those vast mintages, extraordinary rarities can emerge, errors, variations, and condition marvels that transform an everyday coin into a $1 million masterpiece. The obverse design of the 1992 Jefferson nickel continued Felix Schlag's iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson. His stoic gaze faces left, his hair tied back, his shoulders draped in a colonial coat. Above him, the motto, "In God We Trust," reminds us of the enduring values of the nation, while to the left, the word "Liberty" sits beside the year 1992, written in Jefferson's own handwriting style, a nod to his influence. To the right, depending on where the coin was minted, a mint mark like P for Philadelphia or D for Denver may appear, anchoring the coin's identity in the geography of American minting. On the reverse, Monticello takes center stage once more, with the simple yet striking inscription E pluribus unum above it, meaning out of many, one. Below, the word Monticello stands proudly, followed by 5 cents and United States of America. At first glance, the design seems simple and familiar, but numismatists see it differently. Each line, each curve, each detail in the building and Jefferson's profile has been carefully struck. The sharpness of those details, the luster of the coin, and the absence of blemishes can dramatically impact a coin's value. And among the coins minted in 1992, a few rare survivors have been preserved in nearly perfect condition, dazzling collectors and investors alike. But what makes the 1992 nickel so extraordinary that one of them could be valued at $30 million? The answer lies in a combination of factors: rarity, historical significance, condition, and collector demand. First, not every 1992 nickel is valuable, most are worth only face value today. However, certain varieties and minting errors stand out. Imagine a coin struck with an unusual die alignment, a double strike that left Jefferson's face ghosted, or a transition error where a coin was struck on the wrong planchet, perhaps even one meant for a different denomination. Such anomalies, when preserved in pristine condition, become numismatic treasures. Collectors live for these discoveries, as they represent once-in-a-lifetime finds. Second, condition plays a monumental role. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing absolute perfection, untouched by circulation, and struck with flawless precision. A 1992 Jefferson nickel graded MS-70 by a reputable grading authority like PCGS or NGC is nearly unheard of. The vast majority of coins from this year suffered scratches, nicks, and dulling from years of use. To find one in mint state perfection is akin to discovering a diamond in a riverbed. That rarity, combined with collector demand, drives the value sky high. Third, historical context adds intrigue. The year 1992 was a pivotal time for the United States, as the country entered the final decade of the 20th century. It was a period of global change, with the Cold War having recently ended and America redefining its role as a global leader. Coins from this period capture not only economic transactions but also the spirit of an era. For collectors, owning a 1992 nickel is like holding a small piece of that history in their hands. Now, let's talk about the coin that shattered expectations, the 1992 Jefferson nickel that has been valued at an incredible $30 million. This particular coin is no ordinary nickel. It is believed to be a unique minting error, struck under extraordinary circumstances. Unlike the billions of ordinary nickels minted in that year, this one carries a distinguishing feature that sets it apart, an error so rare that it has never been seen before or since. Combined with its perfect preservation, it captured the imagination of collectors worldwide. Auction houses buzzed with anticipation, and when it was finally revealed, the coin took center stage, drawing international headlines. Imagine the scene, a simple 5-cent coin, resting in a velvet display case under bright auction lights. Experts gather around, whispering in excitement, knowing that this piece represents the pinnacle of numismatic collecting. The bidding starts modestly, but soon, numbers climb into the millions as collectors and investors compete fiercely for ownership. 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, the price keeps climbing. Finally, with a thunderous gavel strike, the coin is sold for a breathtaking $30 million. Gasps fill the room, and history is made. This moment forever changes the perception of what a nickel can be worth, elevating the 1992 Jefferson nickel into legend. For viewers and collectors alike, this story carries a powerful lesson: never underestimate the value of the ordinary. That nickel in your pocket could, under the right circumstances, turn out to be worth a fortune. While not every coin holds hidden treasure, the thrill of the hunt and the possibility of discovery is what keeps numismatics alive. Whether you're a casual collector or a passionate expert, coins like the 1992 Jefferson nickel remind us that history often hides in plain sight. Today, the $30 million nickel sits safely preserved in a private collection, admired not only for its monetary value but also for its role as a symbol of numismatic wonder. It is a testament to the artistry of American coinage, the power of preservation, and the unending human fascination with rarity. And as long as collectors continue to search, debate, and dream, the legacy of this coin will endure, inspiring generations to come. So the next time you come across a nickel, take a moment to look closely. Look at Jefferson's thoughtful gaze, Monticello's dignified dome, and the inscriptions that tell a story of unity, trust, and history. Because who knows? The coin in your hand might just be another treasure waiting to be discovered. And while most will only ever be worth 5 cents, one coin from 1992 proved that sometimes, with the right mix of rarity, perfection, and timing, even the humblest piece of change can be worth a life-changing fortune. $30 million, for a nickel.